Oh, well, all right, y'all. So welcome back to Love 24 Hours here. Oh, where we view content that could either brighten or enlighten your day. All right, y'all. So I'm not gonna keep y'all too long in the intro today. I'm gonna just shoot straight for the shout outs. So first shout out goes to, and y'all already know. Listen, I try my best. All right, I when I read these usernames, I try my best to get it right. If I mispronounce it or whatever the case may be, please let me know how to say it, just in case I shout you out again later on in the future, so I can try to get it right. Okay, so yeah. So first shout out goes to Camille the Cancer. Second shout out goes to Mohal. I'm assuming that's Hope, but I know that's not an A for Hall, right? But I mean, I don't know. Mahal. I really didn't want to say Mahal. I'm so childish. I mean, I'm not being childish on purpose. Like, I'm childish because I'm laughing at the fact of what I just said. I'm not picking at your name or anything. I'm just trying my best. I'm trying my best. So shout out to Mohall5599. And by the way, this is a beautiful picture. Next shout out goes to last but not least. Next shout out goes to Ancestors222. So this is super dope. Shout out to you. I mean your username. I just couldn't resist. You feel me? So for somebody out there, I feel like this also could be a sign to you as well, or for you. I mean, take it as you may. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I had my thing on silent here. I just got a notification. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway. But I think this might be, a sign or something like that for someone. So if you might, the angel numbers, you might want to look that up. This may be a direct message from your ancestors. And shout out to the ancestors, y'all, to the ones known and unknown. You feel me? So yeah. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Getting to the money, everybody mad. I got all this money on my motherfucking mind. Diamonds on my dial, I can't even see the time. All I know is blood, Crips, Pyro. Everybody mad.
Don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't hold grudges against people, because there's 8 billion people living on this earth. So you can cut off as many people as you want, and there's still going to be plenty to be around. So even if it's petty, like, just do it. Just cut them off.
Those of you who were in the GATE program in grade school, have you ever had anything really strange happen to you over the years that you can't really explain? I'm talking something like way out there that really made you second guess things.
About the human brain, and I'm saying, how can the brain remember that it forgets something and cannot remember what it forget?
Some people just live their lives and die, never realizing that they were born from the spirit world. It can be difficult for them to understand while in physical form. Often they refuse to believe even after experiencing their true spirit selves.
Crazy, right?
Yes, but I do believe in the spirit world. What about reincarnation? Reincarnation? I don't know much about that.
Reincarnation is the Buddhist philosophy where humans are reborn many times between this world and the next. And I agree.
Huh?
I get the feeling that I was an aristocrat or king in a past life.
You guessed correctly.
Huh?
You were an aristocrat in your past life.
Seriously?
Is that so hard to imagine? People are reborn in different countries and eras as they accumulate experiences for growth. These are the core principles and teachings of reincarnation, a cycle of perpetual rebirth. But when the time comes for them to be reborn, they must forget everything they know and start their lives anew once again.
But why is that? Because that is the rule on Earth.
Wait, what do you mean?
What we mean is, The whole challenge of being in human form is key to remembering your spirit self. Whoa, but wait, that's way too difficult. It's impossible.
I understand. It certainly is difficult on Earth today as we know it. Just mentioning aliens or the spirit world can be controversial. It can get you laughed at, too. Which is unfortunate, because throughout life, people have been given different opportunities to remember their true selves and the spirit world.
Haley.
And since they are unable to remember, they find themselves in conflict over different philosophies and harbor animosity toward each other, unaware that they were once families and friends in their past lives. You see? It's such a pity.
That's because you've all forgotten your true selves. Our true selves? What do you mean? I don't understand. Who are you? When looking at me, what you actually see is you, reflected back. Try to remember your own true self, the truth of your soul within you.
See a super cool tree? It's called a weeping beech. All those drooping branches create a magical world hidden inside.
There is an ancient message that is still being broadcast by the ruins of ancient Egypt. It is hidden in a place that few would think to look. It was hidden in the art. The message was encoded into the temples using a brilliant artistic technique that acted as a cipher, encrypting the message into a visual register in a way that would place it in full view of all, but apparent, perceptible, only to those who knew how to see. The technique is called Gestalt switch. Gestalt is a German word that translates to something like emergence, recognizing an emergent or meta-reality that is made of the sum total of the parts, but is not present in any of the individual elements that comprise it. A sudden recognition of a bigger hidden truth that hides behind the apparent and familiar, and is only perceptible through a refocusing of one's conscious attention. The word switch addresses the existence of two or more simultaneous, but mutually exclusive visual realities that one must switch between. This refocusing from one reality to another causes an interesting flexing of conscious perception back and forth between realities, not unlike waking up from a dream or switching between the streams of conscious and unconscious mind, a practice familiar to artists and creatives of all stripes. So, with that in mind, let's look at one of the most interesting, most sophisticated uses of the Gestalt switch technique in human history. Not in a single work, but in a whole corpus of art, whose use spans the entirety of human history. In this case, the two simultaneous realities that the composition incorporates are an overt image and an occult or hidden image, sometimes woven into the negative space, or coexisting as a double exposure in the geometry and sweep and details of the primary image. Some expressions of Gestalt switch are instantly obvious, while other examples are insidiously sophisticated in their integration of secret semiotic reference and layered symbolism. When the team discovered that the Gestalt switch technique held the key to unlocking this hidden visual message, an entire scientific corpus began to reveal itself. In all these cases, the secret referent, the key to understanding the hidden message, is understanding that these images serve as an accurate, and detailed map of the brainstem and diencephalon, and seem to chart the specific biological components that are key to our experience of consciousness. The visual design of the monuments and temples was not only a master expression of artistry and engineering, it was further remarkable for its ability to transmit a rich and multi-layered visual message. Using an array of sophisticated visual languages, this technique, this mode of visual communication, is not limited to two-dimensional art, not even to statuary. The architecture itself shows the use of this strange and arcane artistic technique. This is, in every sense of the word, occult art on a massive and pan-cultural scale. Strangest of all, the ancient message focuses on a notorious blind spot for modern Western science. A mystery so intractable that it is referred to as the hard problem of consciousness. Here we see the Egyptian god Khnum, with an ornamental headdress that perfectly schematizes key components of the diencephalon, in this case from the axial view. Note the perfect correspondence with the pineal and pituitary glands, the thalamic lobes, the third ventricle, even the wings of the corpus callosum. In the ceremonial Atef crown and elsewhere in Egyptian art, there are perfect schematics of the horns of the hippocampus and amygdala as well. The ancient visual transmission seems to relate very specific and detailed schematics of the biological components involved in our experience of consciousness. And stranger still, goes on to offer considerable commentary on the nature and function of consciousness itself. We see this remarkable technique in use at the very beginning of recorded history, in the figure of the goddess Ishtar. Here we see an interesting variation on the fused legs, and instead we see birds' talons, resting on two sphinxes, which face away from each other. When this iconic sacred image can be directly compared to its biological counterpart, we can see the unexpected inspiration for this depiction of the goddess Ishtar Inanna. At the very center of it all, between the hemispheres of the cerebrum, is the brainstem, rising out of the top of the spine. Seen in this way, it becomes immediately apparent that the compositional detail of the conjoined lions in Sphinx pose, as seen in this Sumerian artwork, appear to have been inspired by the shape and flow of the C1 vertebra, the atlas bone, from which the brainstem emerges, visually, symbolically, and literally, providing support and foundation for the divine entity. Just as the mythos assured us, the goddess is here, entombed in the ultimate darkness of the lowest plane of hell. But this demeaning captivity is only for a finite period of time. Another interesting visual correspondence is seen in Inanna's headdress, adopting the shape and position of the optic chiasm and crossing optic nerves. The bird's talons are a brilliant way of schematizing the splitting of the medulla oblongata into the four streams of cerebrospinal fluid that descend down the spine. Another interesting correspondence is the placement of these upper talons that indicate the location of the vagus and accessory nerves along the side of the medulla. Another of many visual clues that confirm the semiotic correspondence between the figure of Ishtar Inanna and the human brainstem. The discovery of this hidden message, encrypted through the ingenious application of the Gestalt switch technique, opens a door to an unprecedented new understanding of the intelligence and scientific sophistication of our most distant ancestors. It represents a call to the many scientific disciplines that are impacted by this explosive new evidence to join forces to integrate and reverse engineer this lost scientific treasure trove as a means of evolving and perfecting our own models of consciousness, and moving towards a final resolution to a problem previously considered unsolvable. To watch the entire documentary cataloguing these remarkable new discoveries, visit us at www.magicalegypt.com.
Jesus, this is your humble servant, Lord. There's clearly been a miscommunication, Jesus. Just saying this burden is a little bit too heavy for your servant, Lord.
Don't play this game. Don't pretend like if you go low, I'm gonna go higher just based on who I am as a person, because I promise you, if you go low, I will go underground. So underground, Harriet Tubman will have to call you in the middle of the night to tell you to run. So I'm telling you right now, you don't want to start this.
Oh, my Lord, I guess, well, I don't judge. To each his own. I guess every garbage can has its lid, but, oh.
What? We need to go somewhere? Yeah, come this way? What? Oh, you're hungry. Okay.
My second hearing out is the Robloxian guy. And the next one is bodybuilding. Of course. And if I play an ace in the check, you're in trouble. Hear me out.
Yeah, it's in the film of the story.
Oh, yeah.
And
he did me moonwalking like.
And he's like, and he's like.
But short steps, long vision. Everybody does it backwards now. But if you stick to short steps, long vision, paso corto, vista larga, a slow but a for sure. A slow but a for sure.
Go into something right now, All Things Bugs. That is a company sponsored by Bill Gates, funded by Bill Gates and the Department of Defense and the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency that is coming out with insect-based foods. Huh? I'm gonna say it again. Insect-based foods. Cricket protein powder, worm-based ravioli.
Man, stop playing.
I'm so serious, brother. I need y'all to look. Put up on the screen if you can. All Things Bugs. I'm just letting y'all know how far this is going, which is why we have to separate from the system. And when you say separate, it's in stages, it's in degrees, it's in levels. Don't eat what they feed you. Feed yourself, right? For example, okay, so we have to grow our own food. All right, that's one. And a lot of our people are doing that. The reason why they're able to fund these kind of corporations like this that produce insect-based food is because there are enough mouths that keep coming to them. It's invested in. Just like the next thing I'm going to mention now is they're coming out. Remember, we talked about the shots, and everything your brother said turned out to be true. Now they said, well, damn, we know that they're not going to take these next round of boosters and all this nonsense. So what are we doing? University of Riverside in California. I'm so sad that it's in California again. But University of Riverside has been studying putting mRNA, messenger ribonucleic acid, which is the primary component of the shots, putting that in lettuce, potatoes, soybeans. So basically, instead of you taking a shot, because we know you more than likely ain't gonna take another one after what we just did to y'all, you're gonna eat this lettuce though in them burritos and them bowls. You're gonna eat these potatoes with them eggs and all that you're eating. I'm serious. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Yeah, this is a very real thing. mRNA injected foods.
How you be
so you're gonna eat your vaccines instead of getting the shot of a vaccine.
How you be knowing all this stuff?
It is my duty. It's my purpose, right? It's my mission. Like we all have our place in the mission. This is mine. Not only do I have to know the information, I have to spread the information, then I have to create solutions with which to activate on that information.
And all this stuff can be researched and fact checked
all day long. That's why I'm giving you names, references, all that. Because we're not going to get up here and just spew some nonsense just so we can look good and look at me. Brother, I'm not into that nonsense. We do this in real life. They'll do this. They'll put it in written text for the most part. So right now you have it in scientific studies. If you Google all things bugs, please do it right now, live and in studio right now. Google it. I want y'all to see it for yourself because it is unbelievable. They're saying that insects are the #1 untapped resource for food on the planet. They said they're high in minerals. This is how they talking. It's like a movie. Like a play.
Bugs, Bill Gates. Wow.
Yeah, that's what we want right there.
So they're funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
That's one of them. They're also founded by the Department of Defense. They're also funded by the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, DARPA, which is the area of the United States government that has robotic snakes, robotic dogs, robotic cheetahs, and have robotic animals.
This is crazy. Good bugs used to make sustainable food for malnutrition children. So they're trying to make it seem like this is a positive thing.
Absolutely. That's how Satan works. He comes in the name of help, in the name of a positive thing. First thing they're pushing is to feed this to children in third world countries. #1. So they're going to feed them bugs, literally. If you look on that website, y'all see it. The spaghetti, the pastas, all that is made out of bugs, but literally.
Hey, what is going on?
They have something called maggot milk and maggot ice cream. I'm very serious.
Maggot milk.
Maggot milk.
Actually is out, like in
It's
stores?
out. Specifically in certain parts of Europe, they're running the beta test right now. One of the companies, after they grind these maggots and they freeze and they add sugar and all that kind of stuff, the first people who they brought it to was some Africans and had them eat it. It's very real, and this is where they're pushing it because the main thing is we rely on them for our food, and we shouldn't, and we don't have to. There's enough of our people right now growing food. We should just encourage more. We should go and find the farmers markets, spend our money with them so that we can get our fruits, vegetables, and all that. If you eat meat, get your chickens, your lamb, and all that. It's a lot of our people who are farming now. Y'all know what time it is. So we got to focus a lot more on that. Even if you live in the projects, you can do some vertical farming. Find you a nice little square area and get a vertical pot. They don't cost much at all, and you can start growing food in the house. This is not something that's, oh man, you need $20,000, $30,000. You need to buy a whole bunch of land. No, you could be right in the house doing this, right in your apartment doing this, and you must do it. Because if you don't, then our lack of preparation is going to push for them to be activated to do what they're going to do. We get hungry, they like, here, I got something for you to eat.
That's disturbing. Like,
it's very real. But we are being forced to do something for ourselves.
That's crazy.
They have heavy funding. This is not slowing down. It is very much so a real thing. So what you gonna do? That's the only point. What you gonna do about it? We gonna keep talking about it, complaining about it, or we gonna take a little bit of these dollars that we get in our pocket every week, or set aside that monthly food budget and go and buy food from good people who have farms. One, so that they don't have to sell their farm, because they're not being supported enough. Shout out to all the black farmers and all the farmers in general. #2, they're being sued by the government because they refuse to adopt these terrible food practices where they're being told to inject GMOs and certain seeds that are heavily toxic and radiated, and they refuse, so they're trying to poison their crops. Farmers been fighting back all throughout the US, Europe, and all that for the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years, heavily.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Heavily, because they like, yo, you already got McDonald's in every damn corner. Leave us alone. Damn. Let us grow our own food. They're like, no, but you not putting this in there. We need you to, no, we want good, healthy food. So the government is at war with the farmers because the farmers are helping to bring about a solution for the people. But that's the war right now, is the food. And in the water, of course, that's another one. But the solution is we have to grow our own food, and we have to continue because a lot of our people are doing it, but we need to add more to it.
If I ever go bald headed again, I gotta try this, bro. I will rock this right here. This is hard. I mean, my boy got the designs on the George Jefferson. Who thinks of that, bro? I wonder who thought of that, him or the barber. Shouts out to the barber, he thought of that, but this is hard, bro. And you gotta have the build to rock this. This is a 10 right here.
You coming for this win? Yeah. Hey, just come off if you need anything, okay?
I don't always worry what the message is. I just pass it along. I slip it between the notes, hide it away from people that know it's there.
You saying you've done this before? Codes?
I wrote the music your dad grew up to. Half of what you sang along to as a kid, and I'm still doing it. These teenagers are dancing to my music. I want it that way. Tell me why.
You're telling me there's hidden messages in old pop songs?
Movies, television shows, everything you know. Why? That's pop culture, isn't it? Floats away like tissue paper. Yeah, I blow my nose. I find a used Kleenex, I recycle it, and there is your wedding song. Here it comes. I want to know what love is. And I want you to show me.
What are the tunnels for? Is there going to be a war?
Oh, hell, I don't know. I'm just trying to make a living, earn a few dollars.
Well, you have everything.
1990, osmosis organs discovered in the decommissioned Hydronox water treatment facility, Dallas.
Yo, my man. Here, take the key. But listen, I pulled up here. I pulled up in here, right? I was getting something situated in my phone. And then I was saying, listen to what I'm saying to you, right? I pulled up, I didn't get out my car, but then I'm getting out my car to come do the work. The person I was waiting for pulled up. So I'm saying, I don't think I need to stay. But then you said you should call the cops. Watch how you deal with people, man. Listen to me, black man. Watch how you deal, because you didn't let me finish. I was going to pay you. I'm righteous. I don't play like that. But if I say to you, hold up, brother, I'm not sure if I want to stay, I could pull out now. You said you're going to call the cops. I'm saying this from a black man to a black man. If you don't have the mindset in dealing with people, you shouldn't work in customer service. You downtown Newark. Everybody on one. That little thing alone could have fueled me to want to act other than. But thank God, I don't have that mindset. So I'm going to ask you to just reevaluate how you deal with people, man. Please. Bless you, black man.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Same to you, sir. Peace. Pardon me for holding you up, brother. Yes, sir. That's how it's done.
They told us to be afraid of the dark. I wonder why. And if you're still here, this might be why. Check this out.
Here you have God is light. But it is light that cannot be seen. Okay. It cannot be seen. So it's ultraviolet, or a form of light that is even beyond the spectrum that we understand. But it's an invisible light. So your pineal gland could see it in the darkness, because it's not the kind of light like this is light, all right? So here then you go into the darkness, because you're going to try to activate that gland which can see this light, and you open the pineal. And here then, the pineal is able to see this light, which is no physical light at all. It's electromagnetism is what it is, okay? So, in order to see the light, one must activate the pineal gland, because this light is invisible and cannot be seen with the physical eyes. It can only be seen by that single eye. So since we can't see in the dark, and the light, which is God, cannot be seen, it would mean, ready for this one, that the light is actually the dark.
Creative people are annoying to other people. There are several reasons, one of which is they're procrastinators. They don't start work straight away. There's even an experiment John Cleese mentions about this, where the least talented architects would all start drawing things up on day one. And the most talented architects would do nothing, they'd commit nothing to paper, perhaps, other than doodles. And what they're doing, because they're creative, is they're waiting to get lucky. They're waiting to have inspiration. You know, Frank Lloyd Wright, actually, they've asked me to build the house next to the waterfall, but I'm going to flip it and build it over the waterfall. They know that something that's emotionally potent can come from a very trivial behavior, gesture, change in wording, that actually human perception doesn't have a sense of proportion. In other words, how we respond to, you know, can you close the door? Can you close the door, please? And there's a draft. Okay. We respond to those three sentences, although they're attempting the same end.
شو البلا جبريل ترمحه شباب بسببهم بيستهلك العرب لا يشوف
Them hoes got you fucked. Just hold them hoes hostage, bitch. I'm coming through like Blade, bitch. Bitch, what a motherfucker. Where the keys at? Where the keys at? My sister fucked up. Come on, bitch, you scared?
All right, y'all. And we have come to a close. Listen, y'all, when I first seen that last clip and the Blade clip, it took me days to stop laughing. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night or whatever. And until the next video, peace out.